time. He does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him? Just keep him
I don't
banned,
know,
bro.
bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
Yes.
Easy going right there. One more to go.
Welcome everybody to the Onward VR Master League Season 12 Week 10 Saturday Night Venues Showcase. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. If you're joining us across Twitch, Meta, YouTube, or Horizon, we do appreciate you stopping by for today's action of some good quality Onward VRML matchups here. Devil's Brigade versus After Hours. Devil's Brigade, a team that's been around in the league since Season 10. After Hours since Season 11. So relatively new teams climbing a ever-growing ladder as we see more and more teams join throughout the course of Season 12, especially off the holiday season. It has been really exciting just to watch games across all of the different ranks. We've recently tuned into some very high-tier Onward matchups throughout the course of the week. And now we get to watch a gold versus a silver team, ranked 30th and 31st in their NA West division. And so certainly a few ranks to climb yet to get up into that top 7 position that teams are really vying for over the course of a season. But regardless, these teams evenly match, and I expect a very good battle. Devil's Brigade we tuned into once before early in the season, but After Hours have had, well, this is their first showcase, if you will, display on stream in VRML, and so it'll be exciting to see what kind of strategies they're going to be delivering in the matchup here today. And for those that are tuning in and maybe aren't familiar with what they're tuning into, this is Onward. It is a 5 versus 5 military simulator. The attacking team, aka the Marsoc, attacks the objective. The defending team, aka Volk, defends the objective. The attacking team is trying to get within a certain radius of a randomly placed objective throughout the map. If they can get within a certain radius and punch in a 7-digit code, they will secure 2 points. Otherwise, you are trying to kill the opposing team to secure your team 1 point. It's a best of 7, and so the most we can get is 7 rounds in a map. As you can see beneath me, we have a few items on display. It is a 3-map series, and each team gets to ban a map. The home team bans the first map, the away team bans the second map, and then the home team picks the first map. Devil's Brigade is home, After Hours is away. And the maps come from a map pool that is cultivated for each season. It rotates and changes throughout the course of a season. And so we are on the back half of a map pool rotation. I believe after this weekend, we are going to see new maps in the league, if I'm correct on the rotations on the cycle there. I could be wrong. And it's always really exciting because these maps add variety. Arctic, which is a custom map amongst many other custom maps like Paradise and Hook, are in that map pool, and we try to pull in maps from our community. And so it is truly a community-picked and community-driven event here that you're tuning into today, and I'm super excited to watch Devil's Brigade and After Hours duke it out. So we got to get into our pick bans on the day. Devil's Brigade have banned away Paradise, and After Hours have banned away Downfall. Our first map, which I almost gave away in advance, is Arctic. And it is where we are going to be headed for round number 1 of this matchup. Taking a look at the rosters here. Gonna give the teams a go-ahead because I do see a full lobby. Over on Devil's Brigade, we have Kills 42, Hockey Low 9, Chicky Doodle, Lego for Days, and Mithril Marauder. And over on Wolf in the Night, we have Orange Dish Soap, Chandler Sullivan, Steve Jameston, and Narcotizer? I think. So we should be jumping into round number 1 on Arctic shortly. And for those that maybe don't know what Arctic is a close quarters map that really is chaotic. The rounds are very fast. Each round timer is 6 minutes total. Again, we can play up to 7 rounds per map. but oftentimes a round will finish within the first minute to 2 minutes on Arctic. And so very fast-paced start to this series. Devil's Brigade did pick this map, and so they're sort of setting a tone, if you will. They're saying, hey, we want to play aggressive, we want to play in close quarters. It's a place that we're comfortable, and after hours are going to have to respond and be ready for really, I think, a heavy dose of aggression to come at them here. As Devil's Brigade picking into such a close quarters map, it really is sort of a bit of a tell. And so after hours, it'll be interesting to see where they decide to go for map number 2. As they are the away team, they get to choose map number 2. Downfall, they banned a long-range map, and so that could also be an indicator that they also want to go close quarters. So maybe this Arctic pick could be a kind of wild back and forth to start things off. I think we're going to be likely trading down offensive rounds, so I think the attacking team has the advantage in most scenarios on Arctic, and it'll be interesting to see what we get in this first map on this series. We are still waiting for a brief technical hiccup on one of the team's sides, and then we will be right into the action. It does give me time to shout out our sponsors, which you do see ticking across the side here. At the end of the season, as I mentioned earlier, we take the top 8 teams overall worldwide and pitch them up against each other in a postseason tournament. The top 3 teams from that postseason tournament are crowned our first, second, and third place of the overall season, and they receive the chunks of that of our now $7,000 in cash and hardware prize pool. That prize pool comes from sponsors like Asterion. They provide fantastic mounts and other peripherals for any of your VR headsets. HyperX coming in with the fantastic HyperX Quadcast S that it provides great audio, but also the RGB and the Cloud 2 headsets, which we provide as prizes to our champions. We also have ProTube VR, which has fantastic mounts, which helps stabilize your aim in VR, so when you are in the game, you can actually have a much more steadier line of sight when you're aiming with your gun. They also have haptic feedback versions, which are very cool. VRML also contributes to that prize pool, so I might as well get that in there as well. But also VR Cover with fantastic products that add comfort to really any VR headset that you have, whether it's a Quest, a Vive, whatever you got. I recommend you check out VR Cover. We might have a link in Twitch chat if you are in Twitch chat, which I encourage you to click if you are going to go over there and check out their products. I don't think I'm missing anybody there. That list we hope to add and grow over the course of the season, so keep your eyes peeled for more sponsors. But we do finally have some action, and just in time. Round number 1 of map 1 kicks off. Thank you all for hanging out and waiting patiently for the action to begin, but here it is. Devil's Brigade on the attack, after hours on the attack, on the defense. And Lego for a Day is kicking it off with a bit of an aggressive rollout, as is Hockey, as they've already worked their way up through the L on that southeast side. If you look at your mini map in the bottom corner, you can really see a nice U spread here from Devil's Brigade, and they are pushed up pretty far forward. We've seen some aggressive defensive styles on this map, on this objective, that have not worked out, but this is a much more reserved and disciplined defense. They are much closer to the objective space and holding some angles that I actually haven't seen held from the teams that we have watched play this over the course of this week already. I think it's been played every matchup this week. I think I'm right on that. Someone can correct me. I think every matchup I have cast at least has had Arctic in it this week. A popular pick. I'm not sure what's in the water for the teams, but I sure have been enjoying the action, and you always get to see something different. I mean, every single day, always new strategies. I get surprised, and like I said, I feel like this is going to lead into a Devil's Brigade win. I feel like the attacking team has the advantage on almost every objective on Arctic, but it's a nice defensive setup here from after hours, and Architizer into the corner. Hockey speaks for info and then flies the corner to catch the kill. Orange Dish Soap tries to react. Chandler Sullivan catches one. On the backside, Mithril Marauder able to find the kill. Kills 42, picks up one inside. the push comes in. We trade one up the middle. Orange Dish Soap is the last alive, and, well, I guess I was right. Devil's Brigade, and a nice push, well-timed. Everybody charges in. Kills up over the top from a couple of the Devil's Brigade attackers, and they net themselves a nice round 1 win. May have to wait for a reconnect here on the after hours side. But my everything I said about Arctic so far correct. The team's well, the map plays how it plays, and Devil's Brigade finish their attacking round with 4 minutes left on the clock. Only a 2-minute round 1 there. They came out the gate aggressive, and if the team is picking Arctic in the first map, I just feel like it's almost a dead giveaway that that's going to be the strategy. Devil's Brigade was not going to then play slow out the gate. You know, you almost have to expect this kind of coordinated early aggression. And, you know, to After Hours' credit, they did have a defense that was tight around the objective, but I just don't know what a good defensive spread is around this objective. I don't know what the best way to hold is. I feel counter aggression is oftentimes the best course of action on this kind of close quarters map. If you can kind of battle them in the midfield and pause them there, and then maybe tactically retreat at a certain time threshold, you can draw out the round to be a little longer. But if you let a team come to you on this map, it's so hard to defend the utility, everything.
Well, we were on reset. Yeah,
and so a bit of a false start there. We were almost ready to get into the action. We are still waiting on the 5th there for After Hours, which they have just connected, and so we should be into round 2 shortly. Again, thank you for all of you that have stopped by and are hanging out, whether you are on Twitch, Meta, YouTube, or Horizon Venues. And if you don't know what Horizon Venues is and you're watching on your 2D screen and you have yourself a Quest or Quest 2, you can go ahead and download the app for free on the App Store and jump in and watch these games in VR on a massive movie theater size screen with other people in the same space together. You get to kind of enjoy esports with other folk. It's a really cool way to enjoy and watch VRML, and I'm always happy to promote and be on these venues broadcasts. There's all kinds of cool emotes you can do. You can shoot confetti out of your hands. You can fist bump each other. You can make friends right there in Horizon Venues, and then go play Onward in your Quest or Quest 2 and enjoy, you know, this game that you were just watching together. It's really a fantastic space to go and watch the esports action if you do have the Quest or Quest 2. Otherwise, we really do appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out and watching some great quality VRML esports. And a bit of a delay here on round number 2, but no matter. It is kicking off.
If you just stay tucked in, like,
Quick look at the KDs.
for them to push you.
all on the other angle will be good.
Get up into the action. C4 toss. That's one thing we didn't see on the After Hours defense. Although maybe it was deployed. I didn't hear or see any C4 detonations go off. And already After Hours are at the corner of objective. Smokes are coming into objective courtyard. Orange Dish Soap pushing up aggressively here to the corner. It's only been 30 seconds and shots are coming in over towards the objective space. But notice the different layout. A little bit more pushed out. Nobody really on objective. Mithril Marauder, their point defender on the south, but they're not going to find any action. Everything is coming in from this corner. Kills 42 has an angle underneath the toes is what they're looking for. Open the Knight also trying to catch toes, and there's Orange Dish Soap going down. Lego for Days finds a kill. There's the C4 to confirm it. a nice 1-2 punch to lock in an early kill. Chandler Sullivan finds Mythical Marauder though, and that is a big loss. It opens up the entry here for the South. There's Hockey Low flying out the corner though, and a huge double.
On the south end.
Snags 2, and Steve Jameston is suddenly left alone in a 1v4. Quite the start. And, well, we'll see what Steve can put together here. There is opportunity, truly, for a sneak cap here. Lego could go down. Steve's definitely going to see this. They find those shots, and they know Hockey's there. There's the double. Steve can push the corner, fly onto the outside, and cap onto this objective. The defense has to crash and defend accordingly. Kills is there, and they trade. Chicky Doodle over the top could have had it, but there was only one left alive on Devil's Brigade. After Hours almost rebutted there with a nice Marsoc attempt of their own, but it wasn't quite enough. Almost the clutch or kick getting locked in there. And that's the start. Devil's Brigade out the gate on their map pick, have the 2-0 lead. A very solid rollout. And for those that maybe don't know how the regular map plays out, we every objective rotate sides. So Devil's Brigade attacked that objective first, then they had to defend that objective. We now change objectives, so the objective moves locations on the map. The spawns change in terms of where the Marsoc team spawns and the defensive team spawns, and they have to attack from a different angle onto the objective. It really adds a bit of unknown variety to a series, in that when Devil's Brigade picked this map, they don't know what objectives are going to be chosen or where. There is more than, I think there's more than enough objectives to fuel 7 rounds. So I think you can miss out on one of the potential objective spawns on Arctic. Some maps have upwards of 16, 17 potential objective spawns. And so Devil's Brigade have to use the 1.5 time between rounds to strategize, as does After Hours when the new objective is changed and when they swap sides. And so it's really a lot of variety, a lot of strategy that really does get baked into this game at a high level. And I think it's why it's so popular and why players love playing this game competitively, because it really is a intricate competitive test.
Think of people dancing like a cat with a party hat on. Dance on your mom.
Into round number 3 we go, as After Hours have a little trouble in paradise. Just kidding, I think they're just joking around, trying to keep things loose. Devil's Brigade, sticking to the fast pace, are already pushing up into the halfway mark, into this middle alleyway, and a botch nade nearly costs a life, but Mithril has that 3/4 cover to save themselves from that grenade detonation. Steve, just on the other side, dumps a flash over the top. I don't think that catches anyone. Chandler gets into a bit of a trade, bit of a scuffle over on the other side, a 1 for 2. The Brigade are down to just the, well, now 2 here as Nard picks off one on the other side. Mithril Marauder and Lego for days, just like that, are left alone. Although this is the right rotation. If they swing here and push inside, they can push out of the double doors and have a flanking and maneuver attack here onto this defense. Otherwise, the defense is still even prepared for that. Wolf and the Knight is there. But they have a heavy stack here. Steve Jameston, Narcotizer, and Orange Dish Soap all in this middle field here, the midpoint where they were initially considering contesting. Now they've actually split both sides, and Lego for Days is walking into a 1v3 essentially. Draws out an Architizer, though. A trade and Lego is Resipal. The trouble is Mithril has pushed in on the other side. Now 1v3, we've seen nearly go the way of After Hours, so let's see if Mithril Marauder can clutch this one. There's one.
That's on objective.
Has to fly this corner and be ready for Steve to their left, or drop back and go for the res. Oh, and it looks like they are going to consider dropping back here. Oh, wow, this is going to save them their life. They're going to pick up a syringe off of a downed enemy. Maybe grab a little bit of ammo. Oh, a gun. Want to utilize that drum mag. Yep. And rotate over towards their teammate, pick them up, and just like that, we're into a 2v2. Devil's Brigade. Keeping this thing close and quite the volatile rounds we've had. This is the longest one so far, though, as we get to the halfway mark. 3 minutes left on the clock. Here covering a solid angle, and utilities still coming in from Devil's Brigade. A lot of dead bodies to loot and pillage. Doing a lot of nades. No flashes, unfortunately. A couple of those placements would have done good service onto flashing Steve here. Otherwise, Wolf in the Night also has an angle. They actually may be tunneling a little bit much here. Mithril is potentially swinging around this side. Lego finds one. Is Wolf in the Night ready for the side flank here? Mithril flies Devil's Brigade. Tag team the entry and find themselves another point. Up 3-0 now, and well, the pressure is on for sure. After Hours have put up some good, solid rounds. That's one thing that's important to remember. When you look at the KD feed, you see good spreads on the After Hours side for a couple of those players. 4 and 3 for Sandler, 4 and 3 for Steve, 1 and 2 for Nar. Not bad on a losing 3-0 set there. But Devil's Brigade up playing well. You know, everybody finding kills at that hockey low. Lego for days, Mithril Marauder, all with 4 kills so far. And they're not. The point being is that After Hours have kept these rounds close and competitive. We've come down to 2-2s, 1-1s for all of these rounds, despite them being pretty quick. And I don't know what the strategy is here for After Hours to sort of adjust, because they just need to find. I don't know where the success really lies in that final bit of execution, which is often the hardest part to really iron out, but still, we'll have to see what they throw out on the attack here on this objective. I will say this is one of the few objectives that I feel is actually a little bit favored into the defensive side. So it is unfortunate that After Hours did lose their defensive round, as now Devil's Brigade will get the opportunity to defend, and that they are up 3-0, so if they can lock in this round, they will take their map pick 4-0. Showcasing some functionality there of the HyperX Quadcast S. The tap to mute on the top does come in handy. Keeps the production professional. Would recommend checking it out. I think we also do have a HyperX code if you do want to end up purchasing some stuff there. I believe it is VRML. If you use that coupon code, you will get, I think, a 10% discount. I'm trying to remember the banner at the pre-show that was running. Maybe we'll find a way to showcase it more, but anyway, do go check them out. I always recommend their products. they last a long time too. HyperX has been a sponsor for several seasons now, and I've had the same mic and pair of headset for a long while. It is good quality stuff, and they get my endorsement fully. I'm using their keyboard, I'm using their mouse. It's do recommend. Into round number 4 we go. And look at this, Devil's Brigade throwing out some counter aggression. After Hours almost succumbing to it, but not too bad. Steve does go down to a C4 detonation, and Lego can't necessarily push out. Kills suppressed in the corner. You see utility come in. That's a good nade shot onto the corner, and look at that. Kills has to rotate. Wolf catches it out. Lego does find a nade over the top, but it's 2 down. So both of them resable. Lego doesn't really have an angle either on either of them. So all it's going to take is a bit of a rotation from Chandler. Steve gets rezzed. Orange dish soap. Chandler will take the syringe from their down body and use it to res them. And everybody is back up on After Hours. Turns into a 5v4. Albeit those 2 people that have been resurrected, if they get shot again, they will go down and will not be able to be resurrected. They'll be fully dead, so something to consider. And sometimes people will instantly die. That is from headshots, more often than not, or just a heavy amount of bullets landing into the body as they fall. Oftentimes, players will also confirm their kills, and that once they down a player, they will shoot the down body to make sure it cannot be res. Anyway, a push coming in here from After Hours. Wolf of Night considering swinging the double doors, and as they do, Hockey decides to take a gainer. Chickadoodle shuts down the south. Nice pickup from them, as Mithril Morado Lego for Days also there to support, but still shutting down the entry, and it's again a must-win round for After Hours. They have to secure at least 1 point here. Keep themselves in at least in map 1. We do play a best of 3, and we play all 3 maps, so you're guaranteed 3 maps of VRML action here today. It's a matter of how many rounds. After Hours had a good start, but are now changing the pace just a bit on their rollout assault here. Pausing the 3/4 cover. Lego gets a bit distracted on that shot from the double doors. There's a trade over the top. Hockey completely suppressed in the corner, and they fully flashed themselves. An unfortunate mistake there. But the smoke is out, and it's actually going to allow Wolf to try and crash through. They cannot successfully. Nar is here, and they fly out and do find the kill. A couple of big pickups, but the objective is not necessarily, well, it is kind of open. After Hours could pick up 2 points here. Mithril Marauder getting way away from the objective space. And on this rotation, well, it comes down to if this rotation will pay off. The 1v2, After Hours set up to keep this thing going. Mithril has tucked in underneath a ramp. Solid late game position. They are working their way out from underneath, and I think Nar spotted them under the ramp. They're going to apply the pressure, and Nar finds the kill. After Hours pick up around when it matters most. Just like that, we continue on. Devil's Brigade get their chance to attack. After Hours now defending, and we do change objective positions, albeit slightly. That adjustment is significant, though. This objective much harder to defend than the previous, as it is outside. You don't have the indoors. You have sharp corners that you have to protect, and you cannot place C4 within a certain radius of the objective. It will become ineffective. So you can't really protect some of these corners with a C4 placement. You have to kind of place the C4 a little bit farther out. And it puts the detonator in a vulnerable position in that alleyway. All kinds of things to be considering here on the defensive and offensive approach. But at the very least, we have another round. And After Hours have another chance to keep this thing going. I think if I'm going to think forward here and consider where we're going to head to map number 2, I would have to say After Hours are likely to take us into another close quarters matchup. And so the maps available there are Hook, which is a custom map, and a fun close quarters, another fun close quarters custom map, much like Arctic, but a little less fast paced. Still pretty quick, but there is opportunity to at least drain a clock out. We also have Suburbia, Tanker, all very close quarters maps in their own right. So we'll have to see what we get. We're not done just yet. That's After Hours. Keep this thing going. But Devil's Brigade have put out some good offensive rounds so far. I don't anticipate that to change. We'll have to see, though. We get into round number 5.
You're going center, Cheeky.
Haven't really changed here. Interesting position from Chandler as they tuck in. Take some shots as Hockey tries to cross, and Lego can't quite catch the angle. Are going to toss up a utility piece, though. Chandler detonates the C4, and Lego flies the corner. 1-for-1 trade. C4 is down as well, so that's a utility piece gone on the defensive, and Orange Dish Show playing a big point here. Nar goes down to, what was that, a nade? No, Chicky goes down, excuse me, to the nade from Nar. They hear the down body noise, and Nar is able to get the confirm. Kills, meanwhile, flies out the double doors, and that exposes the backside. Nar with a big pickup. A couple of big kills here from Narcotizer to keep them in this here as they trade down to 3. 2 left on the Devil's Brigade. After Hours still holding on to the advantage, albeit slightly. They're looking to take this to a 3-2. Like there's a tech issue here for Hockey Low.
My headset just bugged out.
Fuck.
My headset just bugged out.
Did you do that too? Yeah.
Oh no. Rough stuff there. Oh gosh, Devil's Brigade. Well, here's the spiel, okay? The nature of the game and the fact that it is online, you will run into bugs from time to time. And while there is measures to sort of reset a round at the start when you begin the round, once the round has begun, it is hard to police and navigate every potential bug and issue. In some cases, in the VRML, we don't allow certain utility pieces to be used because they are so do have issues competitively. Pieces like the Riot Shield, we do not allow in the current Season 12 of VRML. All right, I think that's right. We haven't in the past. Maybe I just haven't. I would assume we aren't allowing because nobody's used it. The RPG can, I believe, only be used on certain maps. I don't think, for example, teams can take an RPG launcher on a map like Arctic or any of the close quarters maps because it can be used in certain ways. But regardless, if there is an issue like that, you kind of have to play through it. And so After Hours get kind of gifted a scenario there where it's an easy double kill as both of them kind of snap out of the bug. And, well, a brief lapse in staying focused. And down they go.
I think somebody should be watching down south so they don't come around that way.
Back into the action. We head into round number 6. And so I guess at the end of the day, the ruling is that we have to play through bugs. If you have a disconnect or a bug or a drop or anything, you have to play the round through. And it's the unfortunate reality. Try and solve the issue after the round, but once it's begun, it's up to the onward gods, as they say. Great hand gestures here coming in from after hours.
You got one on your right.
C4 detonated. I don't think that was placed where they were hoping. I think Lego wanted to toss that over the top of the cargo crates and actually have it in this little corner here, and that would have caught Orange Dish Soap. But didn't make it over the top and instead detonated on top of the crates.
Up to north and about, I don't know, maybe 2 south or center.
But every round that we have played so far has been a must-win round for After Hours. They cannot afford a loss here, or Devil's Brigade take map number 1. They best of 7, and so if they can get to 4, they lock in the W. After Hours now get their chance to attack, and they can capture this objective and take the map themselves. A real threat that is present here for Devil's Brigade. They cannot afford to get lax on their defense. And it does look a little weak around the objective hallway. It's slightly concerning for me. But I do see a C4 placed, so at least they do have the C4 coverage there. And I'm sure once that's detonated, it'll just be a matter of pushing out. There's the C... Is it? Yeah, there's the C4. The nade on the corner, though, catches Mithril. As Mithril confirms the C4, they go down. Devil's Brigade losing 1 or 2. They now just have Hockey and Lego for days. You may see a disconnect up top, but that was after they had died. So we're into a 2v2. Hockey low. Circling around the objective. Lego for days watching their flank. The duo. Let's see what their plan is here. With 3:20 left, they're so close to the objective. Oh no, just as they drop on the coverage, as Chandler peeks the other side, Hockey finds an opportunity. There's the smoke that they needed earlier. Hockey's actually going to relocate it as well, and Steve... I like this play. I think they're going to have to go through the double door on this side. Oh, but they don't. I think this alleyway is going to be tough to properly win a fight in. Hockey has that almost 4/5 cover. They peek and hold the gun up above that piece of cover. They can take shots onto Steve, really minimizing their profile. Steve is going to swing the corner. They find one. Lego for days on the Jeep. That's the kill, and Devil's Brigade take the map. A nice bounce back, and you can see KD's some good kills coming in from After Hours, but not quite enough to make up for a tough start. 3-0 out the gate, set up Devil's Brigade very nicely on their map pick. And we now go into After Hours map choice. Looks like we are going from map number 2 over to Bazaar. Another close quarters map that I didn't mention in the list, but I would say more mid-range. It does have, once you get into the objective spaces, very tight negotiations. But it also has a lot of long-range lines of sights right out of spawns, right out of these streets of Bazaar, really providing a bit more of that mid to long-range engagements that we were missing on Arctic. Arctic is just pure close-quarters combat, and so a little bit of a shake-up here in terms of what we can expect from the pace. Certainly going to be a little bit slower. The question is how slow are Devil's Brigade and After Hours going to allow it to be, because Devil's Brigade certainly played quick on Arctic. They did not waste any time moving up into their positions and attacking the objective. And if they throw that out here on Bazaar, it could work out for them, depending on where the objective is placed. I think Bazaar certainly has objectives that are favored towards Marsoc, but most do favor the defense. So if it comes down to it, and we get to a round 7, Devil's Brigade will be on defense if there's no caps. And they could take map number 2. And so a lot of it is how comfortable are After Hours on this map. Is this map and their knowledge of it going to be enough to surpass and overcome Devil's Brigade? Because right now they got the momentum. They also have, I think, the overall favor. If you look at the votes, teams can vote for what matches they want to see cast, but also who they think is going to win what matches, and that's all tracked on the website. It's called the Connoisseur voting system, and so we always like to see who is the VRML Connoisseur at the end of a season with the highest guest win rate. But I can pull it up and take a quick gander. Look like After Hours actually getting a heavy favoring here on the votes, interestingly enough. The fan base from After Hours must be coming out or something. They are actually ranked above Devil's Brigade. And so maybe just a pure assumption by the community that because After Hours are 30th and Devil's Brigade is 31st, that After Hours have this. And maybe map 1 was just a little bit of a fluke for them. Like I said, they stayed close in most of those rounds. So as we go into the action, if Devil's Brigade are not prepared and do not ride the momentum effectively, After Hours could really come out firing here. Their map pick, round number 1, kicks off on Bazaar. After Hours on the attack, Devil's Brigade on the defense.
I don't see anything.
All a matter of assessment, and wow, that's a nice kill there. Kills.
Good shit, double tap.
Goes down. Chandler Sullivan able to find those shots.
Oh, good point.
And it's a headshot, so an instant kill.
Steve, it does it on this window too.
They're talking about double tapping, confirming the kill there, but Chandler doesn't have a need for it. They, of course, don't know that. They just think they have, at the very least, downed an opponent, but that's a full kill. Now Lego caught in a bit of a hard spot here, as they have to defend from several different angles. They have to watch the entry in from their northeast, but also where those shots were coming from, as they've lost the coverage through that window there. And now I think Lego was identified, so they actually have to drop off their corner hold. They almost go down again as they rotate. Really getting hit from all sides here. Ooh, that's a good nade tossed inside. Doesn't connect. Orange Dish Soap able to find the shots through the window, but it does cost them their life. Chandler Sullivan up next to push in from the north. Oh, as we have some more shots coming in. Chicky Doodle able to connect from one pro, and Wolf in the Night finds the refrag.
West Market.
Just like that, Devil's Brigade are down to 2. Steve able to cross over onto that street. They need Chandler Sullivan to help and get rid of Hockey Low, because Hockey could do some damage on the cross. No, they don't. Steve able to get across. On the back, they find Wolf in the Night. So it is even down into a 2v2. And Steve has given their position away, although I believe Hockey already aware that Steve had made it into the blue L. You can see Mithril and Hockey both around the objective, making sure nobody's punching in the code, making sure that After Hours are not going to kick this off with 2 points. There's a attempt here, though, coming in. Hockey doesn't peek far enough. There's the elbow, and Steve catches it. Mithril tries to find the rotation, and there's the trade up the center. After Hours do take a Marsoc round on an objective that I would argue does favor the defense. Wouldn't that be something if we just kind of traded score lines here? Because now After Hours set up for a defensive round. If they can lock that in, it puts them 2-0, just like Devil's Brigade rolled out on Arctic. Goes to show you, I suppose, how much a map pick can impact the results, but even then, still, that Arctic was close for almost every round, and so that came down to a 1v2, really a 2v2. And so this series just really fast-paced, but very close. A great back and forth, a real brawl between After Hours and Devil's Brigade right now, and happy that we caught it and are tuning in. I think we also have a matchup live on Onward VRML 3, and it might be cast in Spanish. I believe Cynthia Cabello is on one over there right now. That's on Twitch if you want to check that out. But otherwise, I do always like shouting out folks that are tuning in here and on all of the other platforms. See a few new folks that have been dropping in. No Deckin, Sev Dark, Master Gaming, Nolan. Appreciate you stopping in. More action coming at you here. We go back to it with round number 2. Again, After Hours getting their opportunity to defend.
Are they home?
No.
We
I mean,
picked
if
it.
we would live in Bazaar.
How Bazaar?
I thought I played Arctic versus me.
Dude, Arctic.
I
FML.
thought maybe Chandler's feeling some type of way.
Always.
Some confusion within the team on whether they were home or away, but I think they know that they are away. Bit of a slower rollout here for Devil's Brigade as they get that far southeast spawn. They don't necessarily get to be right up on the objective, and so they have to work their way up across this street into the courtyard here. And really the only real risk is here that they don't team kill Lego for days, who has pushed up in front of the rest of the team. Skills in Hockey just clearing out the Kayat building. And now everyone here in the mini Bazaar pushing up and over the 2-story, and they're not going to find much. The After Hours defense is a very late defense, much like they were showing on Arctic. They're very tight around the objective, not necessarily pushing out and getting too aggressive. I think this does work out better on a map like Bazaar. So we'll have to see. 2 minutes already gone, though, and on track for one of our longer rounds in the series. Oftentimes, defense does set up inside the windows here, the 2-story. There's a lot of clearing that Devil's Brigade do have to do, and so it's very different than Arctic. The map's obviously much bigger, but just a lot of different corners for them to clear out. Eventually, we are going to see some action. Lego for days and Steve get very close. A nade comes in. It's a good... Oh, there's the flash. There's the circle, though. Lego catches one. The entry comes in from Devil's Brigade. Shope able to find one. The late angle paying off as Devil's Brigade get a little overconfident. Hockey low, tight on the corner here, and Orange staying disciplined, not shooting. Does cost a couple of lives there. Both Wolf and Chandler go down. And Orange just has to stay quiet here because they are the last bastion on this cross. Vicky Doodle is coming in from the southeast. Everybody is down. It is all up to Orange Dish Soap here. Down goes one. There goes Mithril. A 1v2. As Kills flies the corner, they find the confirm they need. Devil's Brigade managed to tie things up on map number 2. Good discipline on the defense, though, and that angle certainly well played. You know, it did cost to stay quiet, did cost the lives of 2 of their teammates, but still, a couple of that double kill, almost into a triple. If they had kept the gun drawn a little longer and then checked for info, but I understand you need to make sure that if you are the last person alive, that you're over by objective. So I'm sure they also would have moved, and you saw them starting to move as they stood up. So a lot of processing going on in that solo moment, and good pickups from the final 2 that were alive on Devil's Brigade. We do change objectives. We can just swap sides. We do swap sides again, but we change objectives. After Hours on the attack, Devil's Brigade on the defense, and it's an objective I think it's kind of 50-50. I've certainly seen it capped with a well-coordinated assault, but it is one that can be defended. It really depends on if the defense is spread too thin, if they pick up the right angles, if they find the right crosses, what utility is used. I mean, there's so many factors in a successful assault on this objective, but you can orchestrate a successful assault on this objective, 100%. Seen it many times. It's a threat that both teams have to be obviously defending. You know, some objectives you can kind of afford to push out and get a little more aggressive, and it's not such a big risk, but not on something like this. You do need to, well, you can push out. We'll have to see. The attack looks like where the spawn is. They're going to be hitting up over into that northwest, so likely to cross the street in that west side. You'll see defense here pushing up.
No, it isn't. I seen him cross north through the
properly
they're
defend.
going center key up. -1.
Seems like lag doesn't matter much as kills comes off of a complaint right into a kill. After Hours lose 1. Not exactly how you want to start the rollout on this side either. Take a look at the overhead, get an idea of the defensive spread. It is stacked pretty heavy onto the west side, so it's an indicator to me that they are ready for an approach west. They still do have 1 over in the east, 1 in the middle, so they do have some coverage there, but oh, that's a nice kill up the center. There's that east defense paying off. Steve was going to try to come up through the middle, but
There's one going southwest. They're going to be getting ready to cross the street soon.
oh, that's a good peeking kill.
-1.
Chandler goes down with another headshot. Chicky finds that swing from Narcotizer. After Hours not finding much success on this assault. Orange Dish Soap left alone. And kills almost connects. Can't quite find the shots there. Still, though, all 5 now aware of the position. Probably have an accurate kill count. Surprised Hockey wasn't holding out that. Surprised Hockey wasn't holding out that 2-story window. Ooh, tricky though. A nice shot from the 2-story connects. Devil's Brigade take a defensive round. And if we trade rounds 1 apiece and we come down to that round 7, Devil's Brigade will start on defense. If they can put up defenses like that, then they've got map 2 and the series. We'll have to see what After Hours are going to put together on their map pick here, but either way, they are up now 2-1. Overall scoreline 6-3. You look at the KDs. 2 and 3 for Steve. Everyone except for Orange Dish Soap, who's 4 and 3 in that negative KD round. Devil's Brigade, everybody positive. Obviously, that last round, a much more solid round coming in from them. They didn't have very few. I don't think they had anybody die, actually. Yeah, that's why the KD, favoring Devils now. They didn't have anybody die on their defensive round, so. Curious what After Hours are going to do. If Devil's Brigade are going to go for the assault, too, because there's a real opportunity for Devil's Brigade here to just take this series this round. They can get in there, get to that objective, punch in the code, and have map 2 4-1 just like that. So I think After Hours have to be really cautious of a aggressive assault here from Devil's Brigade. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw smokes up the middle or something of that nature. Aggressive push from the east could certainly be in order, as they do get the northeast spawn. Have to see how they roll out, how they cross, what sort of utility they use.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about him for a second.
Oh, this is looking like a center push. Interesting. Everyone flying in up the middle. Smokes come out. I think it's the right call to try and get aggressive. Lego is up here on the corner, and smokes are there to support.
Guys on objective.
Defense has to crash and rotate. Lego's tablet out. They're punching in the code. Bishop swings, shuts that down. No real support over the top, but I like the effort. Kills 42. Gonna follow up the aggression. That's gonna cost them their life as Steam flies the corner and finds that kill.
-1.
Just like that, Devil's Brigade not looking so good. They're into a 3v5, albeit a near almost successful attack onto the objective. I just don't think the rest of the team was buying into that full assault. If you had one more maybe supporting there, something else could, a pick could have come through, but the smokes were there with, definitely they had the support of the team from the smokes, but now they're into a not so hot situation. An interesting defensive spread from After Hours, one that could pay dividends as Narcotizer gets way over onto that east side.
One down in market.
And a position that I would consider to be risky, but they do find the kill, so it does work. And the Knight holding here. Won't find much as the rest of the offense is up in that northeast. Chicky does shut down Narcotizer as they continue to get a little bit over aggressive there. And a couple of eyes directed over in towards Chicky Doodle's location.
That's the last 2 northeast. Sounds like he's running around southeast. One might have rotated though. No, the other one's in southwest.
Hearing the radio comms from Mithril Marauder coming into Chicky there.
South side of.
Oh, and down they go. Chicky crosses. They do get tagged, and they go for the repeat. Orange punishes that.
Steve, I said that is not what is.
Thought Steve was going to fly the corner, but they do not. And After Hours and Devil's Brigade tie it up 2 apiece. A nice defensive round from them, but a near successful attack coming in there from Devil's Brigade, and that could have been the series. We now change objectives again, heading over into the northeast with the objective placement into the Citizen Bazaar. I have to see where the spawn is, as it does impact how quickly you can attack the objective. There's 2 spawn points that the attacking team can get. It is randomized, but one puts them much closer to the objective than the other. You can still play the other spawn pretty fast. It's really, you know, a matter of 10 or so seconds, I would say. But those 10 seconds is time that the defensive team can be getting into a bit more comfortable defensive positions to catch you out. So a bit of give and take. You know, do you want to assault right away, risk the early engagements, or potentially run into a bit more of a setup defense? They both have their merits, and you have to be ready to execute on both strategies. 'Cause if you get that close spawn, you could play it slow, you know, certainly, but rarely is that the case. So you'd have a brief, yeah, not quite ready yet. We do have a brief tech pause, if you will, but we should be into round number 5 soon enough. I guess it's been on display several times so far, but like I had mentioned earlier, if you do have issues at the start of a round, you can stop and reset the round. So, you know, Devil's Brigade didn't have all 5 in at the start of the round, so they reset it, and no harm, no foul. The round doesn't even get counted. Nobody switches sides. No points are attributed. It's actually a built-in element into the game that if you exit out as a full team before the start of a round in a comp lobby, I believe, well, maybe I don't think it's in normal lobbies, it'll just reset the round. So we are just waiting for that tech difficulty to get sorted, but again, I do appreciate everyone that has been hanging out and has stopped by, whether you are on Twitch, YouTube, Meta, or Horizon Venues. I like that sequence a little bit. A little flows a little better. We do appreciate you stopping in and hanging out. Has been some good Onward action so far, and I'm sure if you're watching on Horizon Venues, you're probably eager to now go play some Onward, and it's just a simple click away, which is the beauty and the synergy of the platform. Just got to head on over to your library and, well, pick up the game. It's that easy. We also, in the VRML, have several other leagues. You may have noticed that the Echo Arena VR Master League is in full swing now. I think we had, I'd be wrong, but I think we had an Echo Arena showcase earlier today. I have to double check my facts. I have to double check the facts on that. But if they haven't, we will be seeing Echo Arena on this channel and also on Horizon Venues. That league season 5 has just started, and there's a lot of hype around that game. Free to play, so if you want to download it for free right now, you can as well. And we do see a lot of Echo Arena players come in and play in the Onward League as well, because you know, some of these players are just gamers. They just love to play video games competitively, and VR is their favorite gaming medium, so they want to be playing VR competitively as much as possible. It's really cool to see. If you go to the VRML webpage, you can check out player profiles, and you can see that some of these players have. I don't know if anyone from After Hours or Devil's Brigade has, but there are certainly players in the league that have played or do play on Echo Arena and Onward teams and Pavlov teams. I've seen the trifecta, if you will. We also have a active snapshot. I think Season 2 starting soon. TM. I don't think there's a date on that, but that's also a fun game to be diving into if you want to check out some paintball VR. What else? I've already shouted out the sponsors, and you've seen them ticking across the screen here. I recommend you check them out. Those sponsorships are very important to the league, but they are also great sponsors, really good companies with great products that we are happy to endorse at the VRML. I really, truly do recommend everything that these companies provide. VRware, I think I missed on the shout out. And Arma, those are our two merch providers. I'm currently wearing a Arma VRML jersey, and we are going to have some more Arma merch coming soon, TM. So keep your eyes open for some new products there. I'm going to be fully decked out in the future casts with a full VRML product line, but yeah, we're looking to add some more VRware merch as well. So keep the eyes on the merch store if you do want to get some more VRML products, want to throw your name on some stuff, want to put your favorite your team onto your jersey and make it a bit more official. You certainly should check out Arma and VRware respectively. And yeah, I think we are probably into a full timeout here. Yeah. It has been called, and that was as of 2 minutes ago. So, we will cut to a brief intermission. I encourage you not to go anywhere, though, as we are into the middle portion of map number 2. The series not decided by any means. I would say both teams very much still in this. After Hours looking to keep things alive on their map pick, but we'll have to see when we come back. Don't go anywhere. More VRML in just a few minutes.
Yes.
Easy going right there. One more to go.
crazy now.
Yes.
Bro, what? I had to get rid of him.
He was being toxic.
Every time he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him?
I don't know, bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting during the brief technical pause there. We should be getting back into the action here in any moment. I have word that the unfortunate reality is Devil's Brigade are down 1. I think they are looking for a substitute. So I think we're going to play a 5v4. I don't know if After Hours will agree to play 4v4. And if that's the case, quite a good timing, quite the good timing for After Hours, as they definitely need any advantage they can get right now to try and take map number 2. Seems we are still having a few tech issues, and so just a matter of time before the round begins and we get back into this matchup, which has been a fun one to tune into. You know, it's unfortunate the pacing has been sort of paused here. We were working so quickly through these rounds. Arctic went real fast. Bazaar in these last 2 rounds, I think we got down into like 2 minutes at most on a round timer, and so also been pretty quick back and forth. This next objective, certainly one that can be fast-paced. Like I mentioned, depends on the spawn. It's just a matter of waiting and seeing if the After Hours team is going to be ready for a fast spawn, if they're going to try and play aggressive, what we're going to see here. But I think we are at now the official end of the timeout. And I think we are finally ready to get back into the action. And again, my apologies to everyone that has been tuning in. You know, we saw some disconnects, we've had some tech pauses, the the real nature of online gaming rearing its head. It, I would say, is not the norm. We've had pretty smooth back and forths. Pretty good series overall throughout the course of the week, but once in a while we run into a little bit of a hiccup, and well, Devil's Brigade certainly have themselves a hiccup here. The overhead not indicating correctly, as this is a 4v5. An advantage here for After Hours, and they have the quick spawn.
I just saw 3 going towards the north.
Chandler able to work out in front. Orange Dish Up just behind them goes down. But I don't think Hockey saw Chandler cross. Those shots should give them away to some extent. A great kill from Devil's Brigade, though. It kicks things off and turns it into a 4v4 just like that.
Dark stairs. There's one in the room under the dark stairs. Or, yeah, right across from me. So I'm gonna rotate around back to the,
An interesting sort of passive offense from After Hours. Off of that fast spawn, they don't really push up the north side. Chandler just kind of pushes out in front of the team here and gets a great smoke right up onto Hockey's position. That completely blinds it out. It allows Steve to comfortably navigate into the Kayat 2 story. Also draws fire from kills, so that's information for Chandler to work with. Oh, this is a interesting play. One that really is not going to go detected. Chicky Doodle is deep in the corner, and it is a dark corner. But should be spotted against the wall. There's the headshot. An instant kill, a trade up the center. Is Mithril going to turn around? Is the question. Only Hockey now on objective. After Hours, if they can punch in the code, get themselves the map. Mithril does redirect some attention here. I think they're watching that doorway and down towards objective. They also have a C4 placed somewhere. Blacker there, ready to be deployed. Just a matter of time. 3:20 left on the clock. Narcotizer, Wolf in the Night, making their way to the northeast uncontested. I don't know if Mithril gonna have. Well, they're in a good spot. It really is gonna take someone pushing in from that doorway to throw them off. Chandler flashes up into that corner. A nice flash that would have flashed out anybody on that stairwell, but Hockey is dropped back.
It's Delta 2.
Holding a late corner. I'm really almost trying to bait out the cap attempts so that they have an uncontested kill there. Narcotizer still working in over to that northeast side. A bit more east now, as they do have good coverage down into this corner. Hockey, well-timed peek there, catches one. Wolf in the Night is here and hears those shots. Narcotizer also trying to find an angle.
Yeah, I killed one, but there's another one on me in Bazaar. Think you can kill me?
He now completely suppressed in that tight corner. Wolf in the Night is going to push in. They find the kill on objective. Defense is gone. Mithril has to push out, and Narcotizer is there to attack. After Hours take their Marsoc round. The 4v5, not so easy for Devil's Brigade. And again, poorly timed, because After Hours need these rounds. If they can take this 4-2, they can take this next round. We have an even scoreline all the way through. It comes down to that map 3 decider entirely. And, well, an opportunity for After Hours to make the connoisseurs correct. Because right now it is a heavy vote in the favor of After Hours. Devil's Brigade only getting a few people to commit to them coming out on top of this series. And I do think they are looking to bring in a fifth, and doing so they're looking into that reservist pool. And so for those that aren't in the know and maybe are interested in getting into the VRML, there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved in the league. You can join the reservists, or you can play the game at your own sort of speed and substitute for teams within a certain skill range of you when teams need it. So like right now, Devil's Brigade are silver, and they need a substitute, so they can take a substitute that's in that reservist pool that has a silver ranking. I think you get that rank depending on how you do in your first few matches. I think there's a default rating that you get attributed to, and so I'm sure there's a lot of folks that they could tap into potentially to at least populate and make it fine, but who knows? That spawn comes in from Devil's Brigade, and they do utilize it early. Suppressive fire comes out right away. And where is the defense in this objective? Really just Steve. Orange does finally rotate in here up onto the stairs. A real attack up the middle would be the best approach. But I do see on the if you look at the overhead, we got one down in that south, and so they are sending at least one try and hit from that east side. Doodle crouched and slowly working up through the mid space here, and uncontested again. Nobody's really up far, looking anywhere out up into that center. Wolf in the Night can peek up from their tucked in position. Steve is watching the objective. It's just a very late defensive hold, and that's how After Hours have set up all of their defenses. They don't really have anyone looking for early kills.
-1 north, Delta 3.
For one here, Chandler
Smokes
does
out.
connect onto kills on the corner. That's one of 4
Sounds like it's from
down.
the southeast.
Architizer could find a kill on their side. Oh no, and that's a team kill. That sets them into a 2v4, or 2v5, excuse me. Wolf in the Night here and waiting. There's that east push coming in, drawing Narcotizer's attention. Narcotizer almost connects. Utility from both sides coming in. That nade's going to be a little more powerful than the smoke. Doesn't connect, though. Hockey drops back, and everybody rotating around here. As Mithril works up through the center, they'll be running into Wolf in the Night soon enough. After Hours looking like they could take map 2 and 3 here if they can keep the energy going. There's one trade. And Wolf still hasn't shot Mithril. Wow. Mithril seeing the toes. Rez comes in, 5 still alive. And Wolf peaks to their death. That's 1 of 5 for Mithril Marauder in what could be a long comeback. Still 2 minutes left, and actually one of our longer rounds. There's another. A 1v3. As Mithril chips away at the defense. 1:45 left to work. Has to potentially swing over into that north, but entry in is the real challenge. There's utility that would be great to be able to dump into that stairwell, but I don't think Mithril... Oh, yes, they do. They have themselves a nade. Gonna go up over towards Orange. Orange also throws a flash. That's not gonna be the same. Just the down onto that corner, though. But Chandler does try and fly. There's the flash, and I think it catches Mithril out. After Hours shut down the comeback attempt. And 4-2 nets them map number 2 and pushes us to a series decider map number 3. Devil's Brigade get to pick the map, so it is maybe a potential saving grace for this team as they get to go where they are comfortable. And we continue to go with fast-paced maps, which is what I would have expected based off of the bans and our first map pick. We are headed to Suburbia for map number 3. Suburbia, a classic map, been around in the league since its inception. We'll have to see what Devil's Brigade can do on this choice, even though they are down a player. Still no fifth coming in. But I guess back to the point, if you do want to get involved, you can join the reservist pool. You can also obviously find teams that are actively recruiting, both on the website and in the Discord. You can find links to the Discord. I think they've been put in Twitch chat periodically, but also if you head on over to VRML.com, you will find all of the info you need on any one of the leagues. So if you're interested in joining several, you certainly can, as there is all of the info you could want on each of their respective pages. And I recommend you check it out if you want to get involved in VR esports. It's a great platform. We're hoping to add on some new games in the near future, so keep your eyes peeled for announcements around promotion of new games or anything like that. New seasons coming up. Definitely fun to get involved on the start of a new league, so I recommend keeping the eyes peeled there. And you can always find out what VRML is up to by following us on social media. You can head on over to Twitter, Facebook, I was going to say YouTube, but we don't really do social media there. But Instagram, TikTok, we got all of the VRML accounts. Go follow it. Watch the highlight VODs that we get put up there regularly by our fantastic social media manager. And enjoy all of the content. You'll get updates on when we go live regularly. There's tons of VRML action live right now. We have obviously this game here on Horizon Venues and on Twitch, Meta and YouTube. We also have Pavlov games going on. Echo Arena is live right now. Another Onward game getting played out there. There's just tons of VRML action getting put out there. So check it all out. But enjoy what is our Map 3 series decider and a 4v5. Devil's Brigade onto the attack, but on the back foot out the gate because of their unfortunate scenario that they find themselves in. Press a fire out the gates to ward off any aggressors. But After Hours are playing this one pretty tried and true. Staying disciplined around the objective, waiting for Devil's Brigade to push into them. They are smart in doing this because they could certainly underestimate Devil's Brigade here, and they've nearly come in with some W's on the 4v5 already, so anything possible for this team.
There's also one on the lane 1 building over here.
-1 on
Cut
2.
down to 3 out the gate. Chandler with a nice hold there. Oh, a nade up over the top from Hockey Low. Downs orange dish soap. Another nade toss. What a throw! Wow. Put it in the highlight reel, Mithril. That is one for the books. A great pick, just like that. A 3-3, and the South opens up. Chandler kind of has to rotate back, and as they do, they catch out one. Mithril trying to swing out across the street. Good call-outs there from Orange Dish Soap to notify Chandler to peek that corner.
Keep me updated. I'll work as best I can.
1 on 4. Yeah, we know that, okay?
And kills, connects. The Bush is a real threat here. Needs the support from Chandler over the top, but is not getting it. Although there are some shots coming in through the bushes. Kills does peek, and they do find Chandler. The flash up and over is good. Steve tries to peek, but Kills hits their way to the solution. After Hours don't have this locked up. Devil's Brigade looking to take this series yet. On their map pick on Suburbia, they start with a lead. And good Marsoc. Well, I mean, 4v5, winning the Marsoc round to start it. Yeah, this isn't over by any means. After Hours do not have this thing locked up. impressive to say the least. And maybe a fluke. We'll have to see if we do have a bit more of a commanding round here from After Hours. I feel it's a bit. I mean, it's hard to defend and attack with 4. So you know, if they can manage either, it's an impressive feat for me. But again, we have that 1.5-minute timer between rounds. These teams utilize that to strategize. There's an in-game map for those that don't know, and so the team's players can draw on the map. They can share strategies with their team. The other people on their team can see their drawings on the map, and so you can really kind of coordinate your efforts. And I would imagine that Devil's Brigade are trying to do that now, because you have to kind of set up your defense a little differently if you only have 4. You almost all are starting with a weak point in your defense. You kind of have to decide where you're going to allow that weak point to be.
C4.
Get back to the car.
Bro,
No, I'm gonna set it.
I'll give you a smoke.
Can you set it up? No, I know where I want to set it up, but I'm gonna. Well, never mind.
Oh.
Where do you want to set it?
No,
Put it somewhere.
Where do you want me to put it? I got it.
Put it on the white fence.
White fence, okay.
I want to get banned from league, and I want to get like 2.
Hockey Low has C4 in hand. Believe they're going to toss it here on the fence for a late deployment if anybody pushes out. That could also catch Chicky out. Chandler kicks things off. Hockey goes down. A late rotation into their spot costs the life. After Hours playing this one aggressive on the attack. Another goes down. Devil's Brigade getting chipped away here. Now it's all up to Doodle and Mithril Marauder. Oh, and these smokes are putting up some cover. And Mithril really extending out, trying to find the kill on the Chandler. Cannot. Chicky does catch one, which is, well, something. Turns it into a 1v3, though, as they are all alone now. And the cross
the fuck out of that porch.
is coming in
I don't know.
from After Hours.
Wait a minute.
Steve going to push in from that north, really confirm who's out there. Chandler is going to trade, and After Hours find their attack much faster. 4:20 left on the clock. And I feel like that's kind of going to be the pacing. These attacks from Devil's Brigade are going to be a little bit more slow and methodical because they need to hunt and find a pick or two to set themselves up to be in a bit of a more fair situation. We go to a new objective, though, and this one's kind of hard to play passively, especially depending on the spawn. The playground objective. There's a lot of early action here, and After Hours have an opportunity to get aggressive and find kills, shut down Devil's Brigade out the gate, put them into that 3v5 right away. But yeah, you know, I feel like this also favors defense more. So we could trade potentially if Devil's Brigade can put up a solid defense, but we'll have to see. The 4v5, I'm still not sold. It's going to be an easy task for Devil's Brigade. And like I mentioned in our earlier map too, if we do end up playing 7 rounds, After Hours will have that defensive, will finish on defense. And so really get the opportunity to force Devil's Brigade to come to them. But who knows? I wasn't really expecting Devil's Brigade to snag a Marsoc round to kick off their map pick, and they did. Anyway, really do appreciate everybody that is tuning in here. Like I always do mention, please hit that follow button on your respective platform if you please could. Follow, subscribe, whatever it is, so that you can be notified of more action, because we do this every weekend, Saturday at 6 p.m. PST, Sunday at 12. I'm trying to think of, I feel like I'm missing motion. I really think I've covered everything. The downtime has wrung me out of ad reel footage. My teleprompter no longer providing me with the appropriate feed and info that I need. We're off the teleprompter now, folks. This has all been scripted so far. Just like this transition, scripted, brought to you by VRML. Round 3 kicking off. Devil's Brigade on the attack. After hours on the defense, and I joke about the round kicking off. Does seem like it's a bit of a false start. We'll have to reset. And it seems a 5th has been acquired for Devil's Brigade. El Vegas coming in. Name seems familiar. Without some info on the old VRML site. Find them in the reservist tab. I want to see, because everything is tracked on the site. There we go. Join the reservist pool and... oh, wow. Wait, was that the last game? Gotta be the last. Oh, wow. Why does that name seem familiar? They've joined the reservist pool today and already played... maybe they're just populating this field. I'm not sure. It says they played for 2 teams already in the reservist pool. Either way, Devil's Brigade have a 5th. Sometimes the 5th can help. Having an extra body is often seen as more valuable than not. Other times, the extra can hurt. If you have your 5th away from the objective on defense and uncoordinated with the rest of the squad, they can end up leaving a gap in coverage that can be exploited by the opposing team. And so we'll have to see how El Vegas does in a pressured position, as the series is really, truly tied up completely. All the points, everything tied up. We take a look at the scoreboard. As we wait to get back into the action, you see all the rounds equal a 7-7 series here. And we're still shuffling players around, so again, apologies for the pause. It does happen. Technical issues come in from time to time, and I know we all want that action. I want to see how this series shakes out. I guess the saving grace is that we have had very fast rounds so far. A lot of downtime, though, coming in around 2 hours of gameplay. And so you got to think for the teams, too, the players. They've been in VR for that long, trying to stay focused and in the series for that long. Quite the task. And I'm just trying to get some info on where we are at and if we are going to be beginning here soon enough. Nothing you can do about it. Tech pauses do happen. And we do have, I think each team gets 1 or 2 timeouts. I think 2 timeouts per series. So, in theory, each team could, I think you can only use 1 timeout between rounds. And I think your second timeout is shorter. I want to say 15 seconds and 10. But it might be 10 and 5. Either way, Devil's Brigade would be coming up on their second timeout here if they had to use one. Hopefully, we don't have to cut to another intermission and keep you all on bated breath waiting to see the outcome of this series, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm still not really getting any word on what the status is of the full roster here for Devil's Brigade. It looked like they had 5. Finally, Vegas joining them from that sub-roster, but I'm not sure. What the holdup is. Regardless, again, I do appreciate everybody that has stuck through these tech pauses. And we should be able to get into the action soon enough. Believe me, I want to see this unfold as much as you. Patience is killing me. Does seem like we have all 5, though, so I'm not going to cut us to an intermission. We're not going to go to break. I'm going to wait for these teams to start this thing up, and finally they do. Back into the action.
Yeah.
Just pending rehouse.
With
Yeah, let's just play
escorts, real
assault.
life escorts. Oh.
Making new friends. I literally hate it here.
Looks like Steve was unaware the round was starting. And they instantly lose 1. Devil's Brigade starting their attack nicely. Steve with a very late cross to their position. 20 seconds late. They make it. Certainly their position known, and kills likely to peak the tight corner if they do decide to push up. Devil's Brigade have been looking good in this series so far. Just that hindrance of being down 4v5 that seemed to definitely affect them in that last map. Oh, and kills isn't gonna check the tight corner. Steve connects onto 1. Chicky Doodle also goes down, and despite Steve crossing and being known, it doesn't seem like that position got called out. Vegas and Hockey Low are now alone as Vegas gets flashed. Steve preventing Vegas from pushing forward. Hockey gonna try and swing onto the opposite end, and we're into that 2v3. Not exactly what Devil's Brigade were hoping for, but a decent attempt. Steve Jameston really coming into full effect there, though, in that corner.
Was that a green smoke, by the way? Let's fucking go.
no. The support from Chandler over the top catches Vegas out. Hockey now alone. All the attention drawn to that channel, and with 3:40 left, Hockey gonna smoke and cross. Almost catches Steve. Steve ducks down. They're able to tuck in behind cover and avoid the bullets. The wood is penetrable, but not everything is. I think Hockey's trying to throw off Steve with the audio cues, has wrapped around here using the smoke as cover on that side and could be hitting from the opposite end. It is all a matter of if Steve hears the footsteps on this approach here and how they react. But yeah, they definitely hear that. Hockey gonna try and take it a bit deeper. That longer angle also has its risks. There's the trade through the bushes. After Hours take their defensive round. Go up 2-1. Tricky Doodle with 2 on that last round. Nice job there. And 8 and 3 for Chandler so far on After Hours. Definitely picking up the lion's share of kills on that last round there. But still, impressive nonetheless. With only 3 rounds in, they've managed to snag 8 rounds won. Or 8 rounds won. 8 kills secured. Oh, my mind's turned into mush. Too long of pauses. Like I said, the teleprompter stops running. It's a mess. Can you imagine if I had a teleprompter? Yeah, I am. So Sri is confirming. I was looking at the stats, and I saw Vegas had subbed twice already. He had just subbed for a game at 6 o'clock. It's the same time that this one started. So Vegas played in a series and has now jumped from that one to finish a series here with Devil's Brigade. Wow, that is impressive. Sri, I think you're right there too. From what I had looked at, they've already played 2. I was confused. I thought like maybe there was a bug or someone had misreported, but it would make sense why they were only able to really show up now and not in that last map. A great, really, display of what you can do. If you want to play in the VRML, you want to get your beak wet, you want to play some good high-tier Onward, or mid-tier Onward, or bronze Onward. It's all a matter of where your skill level is. You can join the reservist and do just that. And so we'll have to see what we get. Our like fourth or fifth restart in the series. False start, I should say. Team's just not ready at the end of that round timer. Wonder what the real pause is, or what's preventing these players from being prepared, but maybe a lot of changing up in their loadouts and kits, making sure they all have the right pieces of utility, giving them the benefit of the doubt. Like I also said, it is a long time to be in Onward, so players need to be able to take breaks and sometimes take some time. Play some Jeopardy theme music as we wait. Devil's Brigade have to defend the parking lot, and their attack was okay. The redirect not so great, and not communicating on that cross into the corner really ended up costing several lives. Now I think we're ready. Let's get back to it.
Am I going 3?
Is that where we're going? Are we not going all the way line 4?
Wow, all the time to strategize still. A bit of confusion there amongst the squad.
That way no one rotates around them.
Goes to show you that even that minute and a half, it's not a ton of time to devise multiple strategies. That's why teams oftentimes come in with pre-planned strats. So you just say, okay, I know where you're going to go. You don't have to worry about figuring it out beforehand. The park objective, not one that happens very often, so maybe they don't have the full strat organized, but either way, they are now pushing up. They're not getting, I don't think, the nade tosses they would like. Albeit that one smoke does. Yeah, it doesn't actually help. Vegas just gets a little bit of a, it can still peek the corner.
There's smokes on objective.
Oh, and Chandler's trying to cap. You can punch in the code from the other side of this bush. Vegas is not going to pop up and over and look. And there's the code. Vegas swings for the double, but there's no time. And, well, I guess case in point. I hate to see it, but the cap does come through. Really no suppressive fire through the bush, no nades, no utility. It's something that you have to be cautious of on that park objective, and after hours do take the series off of a cap to take away map number 3. That is it. The final score line, 10-7. Quick math comes in handy. That's why you go to school, everybody. Do your homework. A long series, but one that nets after hours a nice W and disrupts the connoisseur votes, as it was heavily favored in the Devil's Brigade's side. The unfortunate disconnect certainly could have played an element, but regardless, a good effort from the DB squad. That'll be it from me here at the desk. Appreciate everyone that has stopped by. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST for another great matchup right here on twitch.tv/VRML, but also Horizon venues. And until next time, my name's been Nightfire. Stay classy.